What's up, guys? So I had a chance to play with the Moto X for about an hour or so. Not enough to give you a full review on it, but enough to give you my first thoughts and impressions on the phone. So without further ado, let's get started. Now, I don't have the Moto X in front of me, but I do have a Nexus 4 that I will be using to talk about some of those features and functionality that the Moto X is able to do. Now, before I begin with those features and functionality, I'd like to talk about the hardware because I believe the hardware is really where the Moto X shines. The overall fit and finish of the phone is stellar. It fits really good in your hands. If you've ever had a custom suit made for you, or if you've ever had, let's just say, a glove, you know that saying, it fits like a glove? That's exactly how the Moto X feels. It feels really good in your hands. Now, I could just be saying that because I have pretty average hands or slightly above average hands. But overall, you got to think about the consumer. The average consumers are not going to have really large hands or, really petite hands. So I think overall, Motorola nailed it when it came to the overall fit. So kudos to the engineers on that. Now, in terms of, since we're talking about hardware, the camera side. The camera is probably the most disappointing feature of the phone. And I'd have to say because that's one of the features you use the most. I mean, you take pictures, you take video most of the time. So the camera is definitely not the best I've ever seen. It's probably one of the worst I've seen. So if you're looking to take great pictures or video, the Moto X is definitely not one that I would recommend. But aside from that, overall on the hardware side, it's of course, assembled here in the United States, which is worth noting. And like I said, the fit and finish is stellar. So jumping onto the software side, and I think this is another thing another way that the Moto X is definitely going to shine, is that they're using more of a vanilla or pure Android approach with slight modifications. So let me show you some of those features. So for example, on the phone, when you go ahead and look at the lock screen, if you have any notifications, like right now I have a text message, I don't have to actually unlock the phone to look at that notification. All I have to do is push on it and it shows me a quick snippet of that message. So if I want to reply to it, all I have to do is go ahead and swipe up and it'll take me directly to that message. Or if I want to ignore it, just turn the phone away. So that's one of the features that I think is really pretty neat, I think, especially because you're constantly getting emails, and the fact that you have to unlock your phone, jump into the program or application and go through all these different hoops. Now you just have to go ahead and push on that, read the message, looks good, or ignore it, and just swipe away. The other feature that Motorola is really pushing is their touchless control. Let me go ahead and unlock the phone for that. Now their touchless control, what they're trying to do is basically where you're able to use the phone without having to touch it. So for example, you could be laying in bed and let's just say you want to activate Google Now. All you have to do is say a hotkey. Now, of course, I don't have a Motorola phone, so my hotkey is a little bit different. Mine is actually Google. What time is it in Paris?
The time in Paris, France is 10:07 p.m.
So as you can see, it's really convenient. You don't have to touch your phone. Like I said, you could be laying down in bed, or let's just say you're working in your office and you want to have access to Google Now. So it's a really neat functionality. How useful it is, it's probably going to be user dependent, just like Siri and Google Now. Some people use it, some people don't. So we're going to have to wait and see how efficient, or not really efficient, but how great it is. It's definitely efficient. It does have a dedicated language processor that allows the phone to constantly being able to listen to you. And that's actually a huge benefit of the Moto X compared to doing something like Tasker. But of course, when you compare both, there's a lot more that you can do with Tasker. Clearly, as you can see, I can activate Google Now, but that's a whole different debate on its own. The other feature that I truly enjoy, and I'm surprised nobody else really talked about or has actually done it, is the fact that you can, of course, they have this weird thing where you do this and the camera opens. I just set mine up where you just shake it and it activates the camera. I thought that was a really neat feature. I don't know why that nobody's ever thought of that. Use it all the time now. So for example, I could be on YouTube right now and then just shake the camera and then there it goes. Or shake my phone and it opens up the camera app. So really neat feature. So that's exactly what Motorola is trying to do. They're trying to utilize just features that they believe that the consumers are going to enjoy without having to pack so much stuff into like the TouchWiz on the Galaxy S4. So the Moto X is actually a really good phone. And one of the things that, and I'll be the first to admit, I was a little upset about the price, but thinking now, using the phone, you got to understand that it is assembled here in the United States. So the fact that they're able to compete with phones that are not made here, or at least, you know, assembled here in the United States, that's something that we should reverse the question and ask, why am I paying so much for a phone made in Korea, made in China, right? That should really be the question, not why is the Moto X so expensive. So, you know, like I said, now that I think about it, you know, kind of had a little change on heart there. But anyhow, I just thought I'd let you guys know my quick first impressions. I'm not sure if I'll be getting the phone. It's not that I didn't like it. It's not a phone that I don't think that I would use on a day-to-day basis. It doesn't make it a bad phone because I'm not buying one, but I'm still on the fence about it. I'm really happy with my Nexus 4, my Oppo Find, and hopefully the upcoming devices before the end of the year, maybe the Nexus 5. So I think I'm going to go ahead and wait off on the Moto X, but it's truly a good phone, and if you're interested, I highly recommend that you go out and try it at least before shooting it down. So anyhow, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts. What do you guys think of the Moto X? Do you guys like it? Do you think it's going to be competitive with other phones out there? I'd like to know what your thoughts are. If you like the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and share this with all your friends and family. Till next time, adios.